That Range Rover in Bavarian green metallic paint looks so sharp, I think I'm going to order one for myself. And I did. And they're going to send one. Here's the paperwork they sent by email. Let's take a closer look and see what we're getting. You get 3 engine choices with this model: an inline 6 with 395 horsepower. Move up to the BMW supplied 4.4 liter V8 at 523 horsepower. This is the inline 6, 434 horsepower with a 50-mile plug-in battery. Starting at 110 grand, but look at all these options. Good grief. Freeze the screen if you want to read everything. I don't make this video too long. And here you go. If you think that price is too high, I have a news flash for you. Number one, there's a waiting list on the plug-in hybrid. I scanned the entire country. Not one dealer has one in stock at this time. And I'm told there's like a 6-month to a year waiting list. That means if you do find one you used, there's going to be a lot of markup. In fact, all the other Range Rover models I've seen, whether it's the 6-cylinder or the V8, I'm seeing they have a markup anything from $10,000 to $40,000 worth of extras added on. These are popular right now for some reason. Even the used ones are bringing about the same price as new. I was kind of surprised that the large number of used ones only had a few thousand miles on them. Who spends like 140 grand for a vehicle only drives a couple thousand miles? A lot of people, apparently. And as a rule, many Land Rover models have the resale value of a dead horse, but apparently not now. It's a hot commodity. Seems everybody wants one, so the economy's doing pretty good for some people right now, if not for you. We're at our warehouse and test facility. Let's open the door and roll this Rover out. See if I got my green paint that I ordered. Yep, metallic green paint. Nice looking rig, and I do like the color. The Range Rovers have had the same basic shape forever. They modify it, tweak it a bit, but it's timeless. It always looks good and modern regardless of the year, I think. It does impress everybody that sees it. One of the first things we do, we get a vehicle, is check and see what brand of tires we're getting, because a lot of manufacturers are being cheap, buying junker brands, but these are Michelin's, top of the line, no complaints. And we want to check and see if there's a spare tire, especially since this is an off-roader. You need a spare tire if you're going off-road. And there is a giant 21-incher, but you had to pay extra for this, as we saw on the price sheet. You don't get it for free. By the way, I like the tailgate system on this. Press of a button, and there you go. And as we do all our videos, we're going to take the headlights out in the dark instead of before and do some night driving. Or you did a separate video on that, posted on YouTube. If you didn't see that, we'll have a link for that at the end of this video, so you're not missing anything. Alright, this is the plug-in hybrid and the way it works. You fill up the battery, get a full charge, get approximately 50 miles of range. When that runs out, you run on the gas engine. Or you can save the electricity, run on a gas engine for a while, run the electric later, or do a hybrid mix where it goes back and forth between the electric or the gas engine. Take your pick. Now, as far as the charging times go, if you plug into a public charger, 50 kilowatt, supposedly you get about 40 miles in 20 minutes, or the full 50 miles in an hour. Or you have a home charger, 240 volt, it takes 5 to 7 hours. Or you plug in this in a common 120 volt household outlet. And the timing on that's kind of tricky because UK website says 14 hours. One of the American websites I found says at least 7 hours. Yeah, you'd think. And one of the YouTube guys said 30 hours for him. What really amazes me is that out of the dozens of YouTube reviews and other reviews in magazines, not one person, not one, actually plugged a socket in this vehicle to get the actual charging times. Not one. So what do they get the vehicle for? Beats me. Unfortunately, I don't have access to a home charger, and in the city I'm testing this in, there's only one public charger with the 50 kilowatt, and it's always busy. However, we will be taking this out, plugging this into a 120 volt wall socket to get the exact time. And when that electricity runs out, we'll be taking this out and testing the real world fuel economy of the engine by itself. so don't go away. Before we get started on driving, there are 3 things I need to tell you about. Number 1, yes, this can be taken off-road. Has all the goodies you could ever want. The suspension can be raised, lowered. Has all the controls you need on the console. However, this is basically a show car. Land Rover doesn't want me to take this off-road. It might get damaged and cannot be replaced, so I can't take it off-road. Sorry. And someone did a survey showing that 90% of Range Rover owners never take them off-road anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter. Number 2, most of these Range Rovers come with the rear view camera system. Right now I have it in mirror mode, but flick a switch. Now we have the wide view camera system, giving a very, very wide appearance of what's going on. A lot of people buy these or lease these and they don't know this feature is there. If you have one, click the button and see. And number 3, a lot of testers won't tell you this probably because they don't know. These plug-in hybrids have 4-wheel steering, which gives it a super, super tight turning radius that of a subcompact car. So in spite of this massive length, even though it is the sport mode version, so you can squeeze this in some of the tightest parking spaces you could ever imagine. Very, very nice. Makes it very easy to get out too. If I recall, the spec sheet said the turning radius was something like 33 feet. I think that's pretty tight. And this adjustable air suspension has a reputation for being very smooth. This takes the speed humps to find out. Bump number 1. Yeah, that was pretty soft. Number 2. Didn't feel a thing. Here comes the big nasty one. Alright, did slightly feel that, but these are 21-inch wheels and tires, so you do expect to hear a few things on the nasty bumps. Overall, very, very smooth though. That's what we're paying for. I'm going to take a highway trip. 8,215 miles on the clock. 40 miles on EV range. Just dropped to 39 because we're sitting still. So 8,254 should be when we run out of EV for getting on the freeway. In theory, we'll see what happens. So let's put it in the EV mode. At this point, we have 397 miles of total range. Let's round it off to 400. With 39 electric, okay. I'm not sure I can drive on the freeway in electric mode for long because I didn't want to do so in the expressways at lower speeds earlier, but well, we'll give it a try. But we're hanging in there. Has a little computer screen here showing how much energy you're using and where it's going. Yep, only 7 miles of electric driving. It's already went into the hybrid mode. I guess you can't go very far on electric unless you're just driving in city streets at low speeds. Well, that's okay. I wanted the extra power anyway. As in passing power on the freeway when you want to get around another car. Won't be doing that in the EV mode, that's for sure. This is a fairly comfortable vehicle to drive at highway speeds. Yes, there is a bunch of wind noise out there, as you would expect from a vehicle shaped like a cereal box. We're pushing a lot of air, but the suspension is doing a great job of sucking up all the impacts. And the driving position is excellent. See everything all around. And these seats are pretty comfortable thus far. Alright, after around 15 minutes of highway driving, I punched the EV button to see if it'd go back in that mode, and amazingly it did, and it's staying for now. Like so. I don't expect it to last long. 85 miles in the hybrid mode. We went down to 21 miles left in the main battery. But now I got an EV mode, I guess it's going to get sucked up pretty quick. Into our trip, let's look at the numbers. 2 things I've learned here. Number 1, this computer system resets itself if you turn the ignition off and turn it back on. I did make one stop, and that's why I have 72 miles on the clock instead of 120 miles we actually did. Number 2, running on the hybrid system alone, we were getting 27 mpg, but because 21 miles of this was totally electric, it bumped it up to 35.7. So if you're using the EV system in city traffic at low speeds, not a problem. It'll stay in EV mode. If you get on the expressway, it'll say, hey, can't do that. It'll switch over to hybrid mode, which is why I was very, very surprised that running on the freeway at 75 miles per hour, it allowed me to stay in the EV mode for 20-something miles if the cruise control was on anyway. So if you have one of these, yes, you can run it EV only at highway speeds if you have the cruise control on, apparently. I'm definitely learning something new about this system every day. All right, 46%, 23 miles. So it's 17 times 2. 34 hours. Then tack in another hour 35 for full charge. Same as last time, pretty much. Let's take one more highway test with a drain battery. This time I won't make any pit stops so we can get the full mileage figures. Unfortunately, we have some very strong winds tonight, shaking the car pretty bad. I don't know which direction the wind is blowing, though. It seems to vary. If it's going the same direction as the vehicle, it might get excellent MPG. If pressing against us, it might plummet and get bad MPG. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Alright, that was a nice 100 miles. Let's pull over and see what the fuel economy was. Or is. So 106 miles, running on the 6-cylinder engine only with no electrical assist. 25.3 mpg. Pretty reasonable figure for a heavy vehicle like this. So how long does it take to charge? Well, we're running the main battery dry. If it's blinking, that means it's charging. Well, let's see. We plugged it in at 5 o'clock this morning. It's now 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I guess that's 11 hours. Let's go see how much charge we got. Still cranking. Well, 14 miles and 11 hours. Let's do the math. If we're going to reach at least 50. It's going to take a lot longer than this. This is with a standard plug-in household unit. Is that 115 volts, 120 volts? I forget. So let's do the math. If you're getting 1.3 miles for every hour charge on this 120 volt setup, that means it's going to take approximately 38 hours to go from dead to full charge at around 50 miles. That means if you want to charge overnight, you need to go to a level 2 charger, which they claim takes 5 to 7 hours. Sure beats 38. Let's do this one more time. It's been 17 hours. So let's cut to the chase. Does this plug-in hybrid system actually save you money? Well, let's look at the numbers, shall we? If I drove this 12,000 miles a year using the gasoline engine only, it'd run me about $3,000 a year in fuel over 4 years. That'd be $12,000. That's based on gas prices where I live, just under $5 a gallon for a premium, by the way. Might vary where you live. Now, if you do half your driving on gasoline, half on the electric system like this, you cut that bill in half from $12,000 to $6,000 after 4 years, or $1,500 a year. But there are costs involved with that. Electricity isn't free, so how much is it going to cost to charge in a level 2 charger? Half as much, 30% as much. Let's go with $2,000. If you don't have a level 2 charger, you got to buy one. That's $1,000 for the charger. Installation above that should be $1,000 to $5,000, depending on how bad your electrical system is. Let's say a couple grand on that. So we're up to $4,000. And there's the system itself. Adds around $4,000 to the price of the vehicle. Divide that up. By my numbers, if you buy one of these plug-in hybrids after 4 years, you'll break even. Of course, you can do the math differently yourself. Maybe you already have a level 2 charger at your home, so you don't have to buy one. Okay. Maybe you do more electric driving than not. Okay. But here's the bottom line. If you're making lease payments of $3,500 a month, or you're really worried about saving like $100 a month in gas, or $50 a month or whatever, probably not. I think the plug-in hybrid system on this Rover is more of a status symbol. Plus it's also an out. It allows you to drive this big, gas-guzzling SUV. And when the environmental evangelists start yelling at you, saying you're destroying the environment, You say no. See, it's electric. Problem solved. Plus, when you take this to the public charger, you'll have the nicest vehicle there to impress everybody. So whether it's really economical or not, or practical or not, isn't the issue. It's a status symbol. All the Range Rover fans want one, and that's what counts. I can't blame them, really. It's a nice looking rig. Alright, that covers our road test. Coming up is our headlight test at night drive. You might as well watch. You're already here, right? And these are pretty good headlights.